And y'all. Hey man, I know they watching because I know they check my page, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, I want to go ahead and extend what we were saying. So I was on Twitter, bro, just to give y'all a little bit of where this is coming from and off of what we already know and what we already observed. So I'm on Twitter. I think like maybe about 48 hours ago, maybe. Some dude named, y'all probably might be familiar with, I'm not too familiar with his work, but I just see him pop up on my timeline, because, when I first made a Twitter, before I even hopped on YouTube, I made it my business to follow everything sports, especially Cowboys. So, like, I can go ahead and be up to date on Cowboy news, right? Just to give you a little background. So, you know what I'm saying? There's this one Cowboy, I guess he a Cowboy creator. I'm not even too familiar with Homeboy, but I seen him there a couple times. Uh, Dude named Dan Rupert. And I guess his other partner, you know what I'm saying, that they go ahead and do work. Or I guess they do Cowboy content, write for them, or whatever the hell they do. So they basically said something about how, well, Dan Rupert originally said something about Dallas Cowboy fans overhyping the what's his name, Jay Toa, the Jay Toa pick because over pretty much the lack of depth and I guess talent in regards to in the room. So they basically saying like to pump the brakes on him being better than Mozzie. So I came out and just said off the rip, he is better than Mozzie right now. You know, and so I guess 48. So I guess today, man, I go ahead and check my Twitter, man. And I guess he used what I said as reference in regards to being delusional. How sway, right? So, and I know he watching right now, or he gonna watch. So yeah, I'm talking to you because shit, I had the same energy. You feel me? Talking to you, that your opinion doesn't mean nothing, and it's trash, and your views in regards to this situation is weak, just like your homeboy, But we're gonna get into that though, right? So so basically, I'm the delusional one, and he told me, right? See, I'm gonna just give you because we had a little dialogue for I say good 20, 30 minutes, right? You know how it goes. Like I'll look at it 10 minutes later. Yeah, we had a good little dialogue, right? So after the dialogue, right, we going through. So basically, this was one statement that was made, right? So he told me, homeboy told me that it's irresponsible to say that a rookie is going to be outright damn near better than a player right now. I said, how is that possible, my boy? I said, either you could play or you can't play. Either you good or you trash. And he said, basically, you can't do that. I said, so I gave him examples. I even gave him a few examples. Early round picks and late round picks, Overshown, CD, etc. I even gave him Jalen Carter from the Eagles. He said, "Oh, that's a first round pick. That doesn't count." I said, hold up. A rookie is a rookie. No matter where you drafted, there's some later round picks that's going to be better than the first round picks. It doesn't matter where you said if he's a rookie, it ain't guaranteed. So I said, you contradicting yourself, family. So then he comes backtracking, when they go ahead and ain't got shit to say because they used to dealing with dummies. Then he go ahead and try to tell me, oh, you got issues. Yeah, I ain't trying to hear none of that. Hey, man, me, I'm gonna go ahead and stick up the fire and let you know about yourself, So His homeboy tells me that Mozzie Smith, the last 8 games, so he didn't say that, but unless he made a change to, you know how they make a change to their tweet, he didn't say that originally, but he basically say, right, that Mozzie Smith in the last 8 games was a top 20 defensive tackle. I said, what in the PFF is you talking about? I said, so for you to say that Mozzie Smith is a top 20 D tackle, that would basically say that he was above average in his span. And the lie detector determined that was a lie. That boy trash. So they go ahead and my film this. And I said, man, evidently you don't know what you're looking at in the film. Right? So, they get offended when they get told that they don't know shit. It ain't my fault that you watched the film. See, there's a difference. See, look, I'm going to tell you something, man. When you out here, you know what I'm saying? When you get to talking about film on here, now you just can't be a fan because you got other people who don't have access to the film or don't watch the film kind of counting on what you have to say as gospel. So you just can't be a fan. You have to come with facts. You have to at least present whatever your thought process, you have to present and have to show proof. That's why sometimes I'll make a statement that many may disagree with, and we'll go live on the All 22, and I'm go ahead and come with a whole bunch of clips to show you why I said what I said or why I think what I think. But don't none of them do that. And I done got on to them, right? They'll go ahead and ask somebody that may not be on YouTube or somebody that may do it. Hey, man, what you think about? And then they'll try to adopt it as their own, right? Wrong or right? Wrong or right? That ain't it, bro. If you see what you see, some people may see something different from what I see. But these 2 or 3, whoever was all up in the little chat, they were dead wrong. Because the film that I said, you looking at things from a perspective of Mozzie Smith whooping on scrub. And I say he didn't even whoop on scrub D tackles. He's shown a couple flashes here and there during the game. That don't make what about the whole game, right? Let me put this in perspective because these people act like they know what the hell they talking about. Look at the stat sheet. If one gets 2 sacks, one may think that one had a good game. But if there were 60 plays played on defense and that defensive end had 2 sacks but got his ass whooped 58 other plays, did that man have a good game? The answer will be no. You got your ass whooped 58 plays, but you won 2 plays. Just because the end result ended up favorable don't mean you had a good game. Good game is over the course of the game, you producing good work. You producing the majority of good plays or being in the right position. But evidently, these cats don't know that. Evidently, these cats don't know that. So that's when he hit me up with Mozzie Smith was a top 20 E tackle over 8 games. And he said the film proved him that. I said, bro, you just don't know what you looking at, homie. Because this boy, Mozzie Smith, was an absolute scrub. And then old boy, Dan Rupert or whatever his name is, right? He tried to tell me about Jay Toa. I said, look, man, I'm not even high on him. He's a rotational defensive tackle, at best. But I know that coming from college, what he does right now and what he could do right now is better than what Mozzie Smith has ever produced. They could not argue that. So they try to come, with the name call and what all. I ain't trying to hear none of that. Because a lot of the times I think you stupid. See, I told him you used to go ahead and talking to dumbass people who don't know what they talking about, and they may say something outrageous but have no proof to back it up. But see now, I know what I'm talking about, and I have proof to back it up. You have nothing to say to me. That sounds like a personal problem here. That sounds like a personal problem. You know, I said, look, Mozzie Smith, y'all already know. When we looked at Mozzie Smith, we knew that he wasn't going to provide no pass rush, but eventually we knew that there was going to be some bumps in the road his rookie year. But we came with the understanding that Mozzie Smith was brought in here to be a force in the run game, and he hasn't even been a body in the run game. You brought him to be a force, drafted him in the first round, thinking that he's somewhere like a Dexter Lawrence or something, and he ain't even became a body. He's going on in his third year. I even came with a statement of he has two coaches, right? And the second coach that he had in regards to Zimmer was the ideal fit for what he does as a skill set and what he's asked to do as a D tackle. And he still didn't flourish in that system. Being under the second year. That sounds like a personal problem. I said the only way that Jay won't be better than Mozzie is if it's situation or something with himself. See, a player can have it, but if he doesn't work hard or he's in a bad situation, like what Deuce Vaughn is, then he ain't going to be able to show it. Because I stand on it and still stand on it. Deuce Vaughn, if he was bigger, a couple inches taller, and 20, 30 pounds heavier, that man is a first-round pick at running back. But they'll look at Deuce like he a scrub, but he's not scrub. He just was under a bad situation. You know? And so I gave him examples, and he couldn't tell me. He's talking about this history. Look, I don't give a fuck about your history. I don't give a fuck about what you think. Tell me what it is. Tell me what it is. Show me. Show me proof. You can't show me proof. You just talking. He couldn't show me proof. He was just talking. And because I didn't back down and I knew what I was talking about, they couldn't take it. You see, Cowboy Nation, I encourage you to challenge. To challenge these creators, to tell them to show you proof of what they talking about. They'll go ahead and hype you up, and they thinking it's just like they trying to hype up to my George Pickens. Oh, this is gonna be, we're gonna be unstoppable. You still have number 4 at quarterback, brother. You still have scrub ass D tackles, brother. You still have number 11 leading your team, brother. You still have 4 being one of the other leaders on your team, brother. You still brought in a wide receiver who he may make spectacular catches. He gets no separation, and he ain't no Dez Bryant. And you going ahead and giving him, put him into a situation where a quarterback doesn't even throw jump balls. It's been 10 years, and he doesn't throw jump balls. So why would you think that bringing in a jump ball wide receiver or even putting it in the body for somebody to go get it, that all of a sudden Dak would change his ways after 10 years? See, stuff like that is what they don't think about. But they'll call you crazy because you disagree with their uninformed takes. You know? Put the work in. Like I know, y'all remember when we was talking about Branch. I said, Branch a baller. What? Branch a baller. So that rookie thing doesn't come into play. CeeDee Lamb is a baller. Carter is a baller. You know? Overshawn could play football. You see, people look at stats, and that's what they was trying to give me, statistics. I don't give a fuck about no statistics. If statistics told you Mozzie Smith was a top 20 defensive tackle over an 8-game span. That's the reason why I don't give a damn about no statistics. What does that tape say? The eye in the sky don't lie. If you know what you're looking at. So Dan and Rupert and the other cat, hey man, if you gonna talk informed, homie. Cause that you was talking about, that ain't it. And it wasn't flying with me. That's why you got frustrated in the conversation. Because everything you said, I had an answer to. And an answer to that made sense. And you was talking about did not make sense. Show the people what you think. Wrong or right, show the people what you think. The people are respected if you go ahead and put an effort to show them what you think. Right? Just like people challenge me, right? People like, well, I don't think this is, okay, I'm going to show you, right? Just like I told you last year. I said, hey, Maurice Leofold was trash as shit. I said the best attribute, I'm on record saying this. I said the best attribute of number 35's game is him blitzing the quarterback. And what was the best thing he did last year? Blitz the quarterback. But anything in regards to traditional linebacker play, I said the boy was trash. And did that hold up last year? Yes. Will it hold up again this year? Yes. Just like I told you what's his name. He sucked. He sucked. I told you the Auburn D tackle. He sucked. Told you a lot of these players sucked. And they sucked. I told you Marshawn Nealon is playing out of position. Some of his best rushers came what? Inside. You got to know what you're looking at, family. So yes, I understand that my thought process may be unpopular and I don't kiss ass like these other people, and I understand that. Hey, that's on them. Do what you do. It works for you. But don't sit over there and try to go ahead and when I chose to pop out and say what I say, don't get mad that I said what I said. That's all, homie. And I know you done search me and looking at me and trying to go ahead and find something. You can't. He tried to tell me about his track record. I said, your track record must be trash for you to tell me and try to convince me that Mozzie. He tried to tell me that him and other tape watchers seeing what he's seeing is correct. I said, first of all, what makes you think that your community of tape watching is correct? I said, in regards to my views, I think all y'all trash. I said, I think all y'all trash. So they got mad and all of that, Dallas fans, shout out to you, family. Facts. Dak is still development. Hey, man, I seen that quote, but I ain't gonna lie. Past couple weeks, I ain't really been watching no Cowboy content, man. But I'm gonna go ahead and catch up and see what that boy been talking about, because I've been seeing some clips of some outrageous stuff in regards to what this man talking about. Now they thought these fools sit up and talking about what they went paintballing and so what? So he tried to be these players' friends. See, this is another thing I want to talk about. Hey, look, I ain't saying as a coach, right, you can't have a good time and you can't get together and try to bond and have brotherhood. I ain't saying none of that. But it seemed to me that this coach is trying to be somebody's friend. And he trying to protect Dak from the crit, because he know that Dak gonna underperform, so he telling us lies. He's still developing. Bruh, no, hold up, homie. If a 10-year vet that's getting paid $60 million, the highest paid quarterback in the league, there ain't no such thing as he's still developing. It's either you gonna ball or you gonna fall. And we know that number 4 is gonna fall. We ain't trying to hear nothing about your developmental stage at year 10. No, we ain't trying to hear none of that, bro. He suck. Straight up, he suck. He developing. Ain't get up out of here, shot now. That's why I told you I'm trying to figure out, man, how these other coaches is getting opportunity. Like how does a coach like the Miami Dolphins head coach get an opportunity before you? And you spoke and Schottenheimer from the chart, he your dad. You come from this, and you just now get an opportunity. There must be some nepotism. That means you really must be trash. They telling me that Schottenheimer is, oh man, he gonna be good for this team. How? If the players like him, that means you trying to kiss their ass, bro. Nah, homie. Nah, bro. We don't need that. We need somebody that's gonna coach these cats, bro. So you gonna sit over there, man. Hey, you gonna sit over here and try to do some sucker stuff. You go next thing you know, you gonna sit over there and try to tell me, and next thing they gonna tell me about, oh man, like this is what we gonna hear, this sucker stuff. Oh my God. Oh, this mental health. It's mental health. Oh, hey, we care about it. All he did was have a bad game. Oh, mental health is real. And he just had a bad game. That's what type of coach we got, homie. Mental health is real, and he just had a bad game. We need to check up on our players, man, and have a heart. He gonna tell the fans sometime this year, man, have a heart. These kids is still kids. They're under they're under all the pressure as it is, and they get paid millions of dollars to play a game. Hey man, I know we got a soft ass coach, bro. And if you think that the Dallas Cowboys is gonna do anything this year, hey, I hate to break it to you, buddy, it's not gonna happen. They're gonna suck. They're the last. They're last in the division. Every other team in the division is better than the Dallas Cowboys. I can assure you of that. Only thing the New York Giants was missing was a quarterback. And Russell Wilson is good enough to go here and at least put the Giants over the hump to be better than the Cowboys. Even if they don't do nothing, he is good enough to put the Giants over the hump to be better than the Cowboys. Trash. Trash. What y'all doing?
Don't come near me. I'm so
Hold up, y'all.